Hello guys! Welcome back at LG Mindset Podcast. I'm your host Luisa Jazor, and we're beginning with what can we understand with respect. So, at LG Mindset, we understand that respect is a cornerstone of successful relationships and personal growth. In a world where influence and connections are the key, earning respect isn't just about what you say, but how you live your values. If you're looking to enhance the respect you receive in both personal and professional life, here are 6 to 7 actionable strategies that align with the principles of LG Mindset. So the first way to basically earn respect is to basically be authentic. So to stay true to who you are, because people will respect those who are genuine and consistent in their values and actions. Avoid pretending to be someone you're not, because why do you want to trust this person? Why do you want to basically earn this respect to this person if she doesn't even respect herself, but also just isn't who she is, Because like I said, I am someone who can be very I like to socialize with people, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm someone who is very introvert. Or another example, I am someone who is very emotional, who is someone that is going to basically, I have strong emotions, and I need to basically just tell the people I have lots of emotions. I am someone who will really be dramatic, and yes, some people don't like it, but I don't care, because I am authentic to myself and I am authentic with the others. And that's why they're gonna basically just earn your respect, because you are someone that is special because you are the way you are. And that's why people will generally put a lot more respect to yourself, but also respect your values, respect how you are, because you don't care what other people say, so they will respect you because you're someone who is basically true to yourself. So they know that they can be true to themselves and trust you, and you will trust them, So I think this is, something important, because being authentic is being who you are, and it is important for you, but also for the others. So the second way to basically earn respect is to keep your word. So honor your commitments and be reliable. So when you make promises, follow through with them, So reliability builds trust and respect. So basically, when I say keep your word, is to basically, when you're making promises, please just don't do something else, just basically follow through with them, because if you don't basically, if the people can trust you and can trust the promises you are making, why will they need to earn your respect if you don't necessarily trust them and they can't trust you how you are, And that's a big issue, because it is very important to build this trust and to build this respect, That's why authentic and keeping your word, it is basically the same thing, because you need to respect yourself and you also need to keep your word. So you need, when you're making promises, you need also to respect this promise, and it can happen sometimes you can't keep it, I understand maybe there is a reason, but if there isn't a reason and you just don't want to keep this promise, please just don't do that, and don't be oh, why is he not respecting me? Well, because of this, you are not keeping your promises, and that's why, and that's a big issue. So number 3 is to listen actively. So show respect to others by truly listening to them and what they have to say. Make eye contact, avoid interrupting. This is a big thing. Avoid interrupting and talking about yourself. We're not talking about yourself. We're talking about the person, not yourself. If you want to talk, then talk afterwards, And also acknowledge their feelings and opinions about what you are talking, because you see, I am someone who listens actively because I like to listen to people, And what they also find really cool about myself is that I basically acknowledge every single thing, every single detail about what they said. So basically, for example, when we are walking and then the person is talking to me and we get like interrupted about someone or whatever, and they don't know what they want to say, well, I will be like, you said this and this and this. And they will be like, oh, she really is listening to me, you know? Or it is also important when you're talking with a client, you know, you need to acknowledge everything that they are saying. And this is the same when you're at school, when you're with someone, with a friend, you know, you need to acknowledge everything because they will see that, yeah, you can earn my respect because you respect who I am. You respect what I'm saying, you know, you don't care about me, you know, you care about me. You care about like who I am. And that is like, this is so important. And that's why, because I also got a friend who was just talking about himself, and I was like, yeah, so you don't care about the others. And he was like, no, I care, but like, I want to talk about myself. And I was like, no, you know. And my sister is a bit the same, and I've told her about it, and now she really like puts the attention to it, to not interrupt us when I am talking with, for example, my mother, you know. She respects it, you know. Or sometimes I'm talking and then she interrupts me and she starts like talking about herself, and I'm like, girl, you don't care about what I'm saying, you know. And I was like, you need to show compassion when you're talking to someone, because like when I'm talking, she's like, oh, okay. And I was like, girl, I literally like had a panic attack. You don't care about it? And she was like, no, I care about it, but like okay, you know. And I was like, no, you need to show compassion. Even if you aren't true to yourself, you need to show compassion, because yes, sometimes people don't have this empathy. And I talked about it so many times in this podcast. People don't have empathy. Not everyone has it, you know. I have this naturally, can also work it, but like, you need to show compassion, because people will be like, oh, okay, she really cares about me, you know. And that is why listening actively shows respect to the others. And that's why it is very important. So the fourth way is to treat others with respect, of course. So treating everyone with kindness and consideration, regardless of their status or position. So respect is often reciprocated, so model the behavior you wish to receive. And that is the thing that is so important. You know why? Because when you are acting a way that isn't really good, you know, you need to ask yourself, do I really want the person next to me to act the same way? And you will be like, yeah, no, I don't want her to scream at me. And then you will realize that your behavior isn't good, you know. Sometimes, me and my sister, I talk a lot about my sister because this is where I have like lots of examples, because we are like so different from each other's, but we learn so much from each other's because we're not the same, you know. And that's why we learn how to be, or how to have our same values respected, you know. And so basically treating others with respect is basically like, you need to you need to basically ask yourself the question, do I want to be treated the same way as she is, like as I am treating the same way, you know? And you will be like, no, of course not. I don't want to get yelled at, you know? And then you will be like, yeah, I need to focus a little bit on more this. I need to say to myself, I need to put like the attention. I don't want to be treated like this, you know? And then you will realize what you are like, how you are treating yourself isn't good, how you are treating the others isn't good, you know. And then you will realize that you're not basically treating the people in a good way, you know. And so there was a time where my sister treated me like, I'm not gonna say like shit, you know, but she treated me in a way that wasn't good, you know. She was so mean to me, and I was like, I was here. So I'm gonna basically talk about the situation, but I came to her school and I was like, yeah, how did your day goes? How was school, you know? And she was like, don't talk to me. And I was like, okay, so First, maybe you're not feeling good. I don't care, maybe you're not feeling good. Maybe you're sad about something, angry. Okay, I don't care. I respect this, I respect her emotion. But the thing that I won't accept is that she treats me like trash, and I don't accept this. Like, even if it comes from a friend, from my mother, from everyone, I don't accept this because I want to be treated with respect, Respect is basically the thing that everyone needs to have, respect, and it doesn't cost anything, And so I was like, yeah, I'm sorry, but like, don't talk to me like this. You can be like, I was like, I respect that you are not feeling good, or maybe you're angry at someone or at something, but don't treat me the same way because I did nothing to you. And she was like, yeah, I'm sorry about it. And I was like, yeah, you're sorry because I won't accept it at all, And I've always said this to everyone who is also like a big sister or big brother. You need to respect everyone, even if it's like your little sister. It isn't because she's little that you don't need to respect her, or she needs to respect you, but you don't need to respect her. It doesn't function like this. Everyone needs to respect everyone in the same values. If you respect your mother, you need to respect the same, like, you need to have the same respect as someone else, someone you don't know, or your teachers, or your sister, You need to have the same respect for everyone, because this is basically the base, of respect. So number 5 is to basically stay humble. So confidence is important, but arrogance can undermine respect. So acknowledge your mistakes, be open to feedbacks, and also give credit where it's due, So by this is, it's very simple. By this is, confidence is important, okay? We are sure about it. Like, confidence is the key, to respect. But if you're too confident, like too overreacting or overconfident, then it will turn into arrogance. And we don't want this. Arrogance is the thing we don't want. Like, oh my gosh, me, I am so like, me, always talking about you. We don't care about you, okay? I'm not gonna lie. We don't care about the lives of the others, but we need to respect them. We need to respect everyone. And so that's why when you're like, maybe sometimes arrogance, you need to put like a question to yourself and be like, okay, I was too arrogant. I was talking too much about myself. I need to stop, And then you need to learn about your mistakes. And also, please be open to feedback. And it was very complicated for me because I am someone who is very perfectionist. Someone who is very like I need to be perfect, And for all my life, I was like, I need to be perfect. And so I was like, damn, I don't want to hear any feedback because I want to be perfect. So I don't need your feedback, And I was like, it wasn't good, and that's why. First, you can't be perfect. Perfect doesn't exist. What's existing is imperfect, and that's what we want. We want to be imperfect. And so we want to be open to feedbacks and to basically be open-minded and to learn from it. Because feedback, there are like 2 types of feedback. Feedback that are really helpful and feedback that are really mean, But we just want like the positive feedback. And then please just learn from it. It isn't complicated. You just need to be open-minded. Maybe you aren't really, maybe you don't accept the feedback, but we don't care if you accept it or not. We want that you learn from it. That's what we want. And then you can also give credit where it's due, And yeah, it's just simple. Confidence is important, but arrogance, we don't want this. Then, first, acknowledge your mistakes. 2, be open to your feedback. And 3rd, if you want, credit where it's due. That's it. Very simple. No need to talk about it for hours and hours. That's it. Okay, so number 6 is to stand up for what's right. So have the courage to stand up for your principles, even when it's difficult. Being ethical and defending what's right earns your respect, even from those who may disagree with you, because you will always see people who will disagree with you. So here, very simple, you need to basically see your values. What are your limits? What are your values? That's it. 2 simple things. Then, what is sometimes a bit more complicated is because a lot of people won't be like, won't agree with you. But we don't care about this. We need to basically respect our values and our limits. And basically, please stand up for what's right for yourself. Okay, so you need to have the courage to stand up for your principles. And even when it's difficult, So if you aren't agreeing with something, or with, for example, me, what I talked about my sister, that she was talking like bad with me, she was like, yeah, it wasn't good from her. And I was just like, no, I was like, this isn't happening today. Okay, you're not talking to me like this. Well, this, for example, is basically respecting my values, because I respect her values that she isn't feeling okay and she can have emotions. This is natural, but I won't accept that you are talking bad with me because I did nothing to you. I was just basically caring about you, And this is basically respecting your limits and respecting your values. That's it. So please take a moment to basically write a list with all your values and with your limits. Or maybe you can do this in your head. I don't care. But just do this and you will see the big difference when you do it and when you don't. Because you will see a big change. Okay, so the last one is number 7. So communicate clearly and respectfully. Be articulate in expressing your thoughts and feelings, but do so with respect. So avoid belittling or disrespecting others in your communicator. So basically, what you need to do in this case is to basically you can express your thoughts, of course, but you can't express your thoughts in a bad way. Because sometimes my sister, she expressed herself in not the greatest way, Sometimes she's very, how can I say, very cash, so very clear. And sometimes me, because I'm her sister, I don't care because I know how she is, I know that she's someone who is very cash, who is very clear. But for the others, when she's expressing herself, others are like, damn, what's happening with her? And I know sometimes it isn't very good, So please just, when you're expressing your thoughts and feelings and you know that you're someone who isn't very empathic and isn't very good at expressing themselves in a good way, in a gentle way, or in a kind way, please just take a moment to formulate the phrases in your head and then basically expressing your thoughts and feelings, but in a kind of way, because you will basically avoid belittling or disrespecting others when you're communicating. Because sometimes when I'm also talking with my mother, for example, and I'm talking sometimes maybe in a bad way, maybe aggressive, she's like, damn, why you're talking like this? And I was like, no, it wasn't mean in this way. It was mean in a kind of way. Sorry, And then what we talked about it is that I acknowledge my mistakes. And then I am open to feedbacks, and then I learn from it, and that's it. Basically, earning respect is a continuous journey that requires self-awareness, integrity, and the way you treat others. So by applying these principles consistently, you can build strong, respectful relationships that stand the test of time. So remember, respect is a two-way street. So what you give is often what you receive. So yeah. That was it at LG Mindset. We're here to guide you in cultivating the mindset that fosters lasting respect and meaningful connections. I hope you will enjoy this one. It was all about respect, something that is very important for me and for my lifestyle. And yeah, that was it. Hope you will enjoy. Have a good time. Bye.